Hi, my name is Mimi. I'm from Meta Spiritual Counselling and Healing. I'm a spiritual counsellor, occupational therapist, and intuitive breathwork practitioner and meditation facilitator. So I'm starting this channel to combine my loves of occupational therapy, spirituality, and supporting others to heal on their journey. So I've developed a 5-card spread with a couple of oracle outcomes at the end as a way to combine some of the occupation focused models with spiritual based practice. Hopefully this is a way to help guide and progress you forward in your healing journey or on your healing journey. So I've already done the water signs. This is for the fire signs. So let's start with Aries. Can you show me Aries? And if we look at the role, what's currently going on for Aries? And if we look at the communication that wanted to come out, and the environment or social aspect, and what is motivating. You've got 2 cards in your motivation, so we are going to take both of them. Okay, so in terms of this spread, we start with the person, then we look at the role, their communication and interaction, environment and social, and then their motivation, values or interests. Aries, so it seems as though you have been tuning into the cycles of the moon, I'm getting. So the last couple of moon cycles, there seems to have been an increase in your intuition and your awareness. Things have been highlighted to you, perhaps about yourself, that you previously were unaware of, and almost feeling that you were confronted with these things. But this is a good thing because it feels as though with this you are stepping forward more at ease with self. It seems as though there's something that might have been highlighted to you recently that you are almost coming to terms with or coming to grips with. But it feels like it's more in relation to who you are as a person and maybe some of the experiences that you might have had. In terms of your roles or your commitments, I'm feeling with the Emperor in the verse, which is generally your card in the upright, that you're almost having or have had to take a step back. So whilst you might have been charging forward or taken control in aspects of your life, it seems as though things were feeling quite chaotic for you. Things seemingly were out of your control, and this really kind of destabilized you and took you out of your energy. As a result, this led to you kind of really overthinking and over worrying about how you were coming across to other people, because you're in an energy that isn't necessarily your default. It's not necessarily natural to you. So I'm seeing kind of panic attacks, worry, overthinking and over analyzing, kind of rehashing things that have already passed in a way. And it feels as though this has consumed quite a lot of your time and your energy. So in terms of what's going on in your environment or your social circumstances, it feels as though things again have ground to a halt. You have taken a step back, perhaps disconnected from friends and family, because you've been in this over worrying, over analysing energy and almost feeling out of depth in a way. It feels as though I'm seeing like a fish out of water. So it's this really unfamiliar territory, really unfamiliar energy for you. So things seem to have almost stopped for you, Aries. But in terms of your motivation, I'm getting the sense or the feeling that there's almost a want or a need to reconcile parts of yourself. So we have the 5 of Pentacles here, and also the 5 of Swords in the reverse. So this feels as though this insight that you gained into who you are or a new aspect of your being might have come from a separation of sorts. Perhaps things got heated in an argument and perhaps someone said something to you that really made you question your sense of self and question your character. But it feels as though for you, you're feeling like this person, or maybe I, should step forward in order to reconcile. I'm hearing the words grovel. So Aries, I'm feeling that as if there's a little bit of that stubbornness that's coming through that's like, well, why should I be the one to step forward? Why should I be the one to make amends when they're the ones who might have done X, Y, Z? So I'm feeling a little bit of that blame game coming here. Let's have a look at that outcome for you. Can we get an outcome for Aries? Okay, yeah. Can we get one more advice? Okay, so the first card that came out was the Armadillo Spirit. Set healthy boundaries. So this is definitely about communicating with others. And although you might be thinking or feeling, well, why should I be the one to step forward? Try and see this as an opportunity for you to step forward and make change, but make change in a way that's not going to impede on your thought process, your emotion. Create those boundaries and really affirm yourself, but maybe in a more informed way. So now that you have kind of learned aspects about yourself, how can you apply that in a way so that you're not maybe as hurtful or not as cold or as brash towards other people? So this is really viewing you, again, that porcupine spirit energy, seeing yourself in your new light, making change within your interpersonal relationships in a different way, being bold, but being bold from a place of love. So this is a message for Leo. Can you show me Leo, please? Thank you. What's going on around Leo? And what about communication and interaction? And what about their environment? Show me Leo's environment, thank you. Second time that card's come up in this position. And what about Leo's motivation? Okay. So in terms of this spread, we have the person, what's going on around them, so the role, their communication or interaction, environment and social, and any motivations, values or interests. So we have the Devil in reverse at the center, Leo. This feels as though you are reconciling parts of yourself that you might not have necessarily liked about you. So these are repeating patterns, thoughts, beliefs, or systematic habits perhaps that you had been engaging in that you have now realized weren't necessarily who you are at the essence of you. This feels very much historic that you decided to make this change, but something recently might have brought you back to that place or taken you back to that place where you're almost reconciling, gosh, that was really a part of me, that was really me who did that. Be careful of this energy, because I'm getting the feeling of, although this might have been a previous endeavor or engagement, there's something residual within the energy that seems to almost be reminding you of that and pulling you back in a way to that energy. Now, this could be your own thought patterns, beliefs or systems. In terms of the role, so what's going on around you, it feels as though you may have started or tried to almost help people with this energy. So the things that you might have experienced in terms of maybe previous addictions or previous thought patterns, you might have figured out a way for yourself when you've thought to almost capitalize on this and thought to make or create something that will help people. But it feels as though maybe you had a false start with this, with the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. You might have had a false start with this and then lost kind of your steam or your hope. Yeah, what I'm sensing in terms of the communication or interaction, this almost forced you to go into hermit mode, because this idea didn't necessarily take off with the speed or the velocity that you wanted to. Instead of carrying forward, what happened was you retreated. You decided to turn back inwards and almost stop everything. And as a result, that pulled you back into this kind of thinking about bad previous habits or things that you might have engaged with. And there's that sense of really kind of overthinking, overanalyzing in a way, parts of you, because you've gone into retreat mode. So what I'm seeing is, in terms of your environment or social, you need to be honest with people. You need to be honest with people around you, particularly those that you love. I'm seeing partners, friends, family. Be honest about some of the things that you might have gone through, particularly if they aren't aware of some of the experiences or thoughts that you might have gone through, because it feels as if that this is something that was solo that happened, or it was a solo part of you that you discovered, and maybe people aren't necessarily aware of that. So I'm getting the sense of being open and being a bit more vulnerable with those that are around you and owning it, because that is what's going to help with your story here. That's what's going to turn that page of pentacles back upside down, so that page can then go on to progress into a king. Your key is within your emotional expression here, Leos. And in terms of your motivation here, your value, your interest, you've got the 10 of Swords in the reverse, which again speaks of like the past, previous pain that you might have experienced, and that it is something that happened, it is real, it is something that you can acknowledge, but it's in the past. It's not something that's present anymore. This isn't a part of your current energetic field or system. You just have the memories, you have the sensations in order to help other people. So this is your motivation, turning that power, that pain, into power, and really utilizing that without getting caught up in the emotions of the what ifs and the I can't believe that this was a part of me. So Leos, let's get some advice for you. Let's get some advice for our lovely Leos. Let me get one more card for Leos. Okay. Beautiful energy. So we first have the Dear Spirit. Bring a gentle touch. So this is really about yourself. So this is needing to come out of that self-deprecating and that repeating mentality that might be happening, where there's a bit of that self-blame, doubt and guilt going on. So this is really about finding ease within self, finding peace within self, and really being kind. And to support that, we have the Dove Spirit. Be peace. So that same peace that you want to provide to others, you first need to find that within yourself and reflect that into yourself. Okay, Leos. This reading is for Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, please show me what's going on with you and what's going on around you. Show me about Sagittarius's communication and interaction. Oh. We had 2 cards pop out there, so I will honour that. And show me Sagittarius's environment. And what is their motivation? Okay, that's interesting. So just to explain the layout, so we have position 1, the person. We have the role in position 2, communication and interaction in the 3, environment and social in the 4th position, and the motivation, values or interests. And then we'll pull some oracle cards towards the end. So how you are showing up, Sagittarius, is the Justice card in reverse. So there's a real sense of almost indignation around you, Sagittarius. There's a real sense of, I'm seeing like a little child almost like stomping their feet in the ground, and it feels quite tantrumy in a way. But this isn't from a place of immaturity or a place of, lack of growth. This is really kind of seeing your journey for what it is and understanding that things haven't gone your way or the way that you thought, expected, or anticipated at the very least. So there's a sense of feeling things are not in balance, things are out of alignment, and there's a loss of control in a way. It's like, when am I going to get my break? When is my justice coming? So in terms of kind of your role or your, current circumstances, it feels as though you're channeling that energy into your wishes. You've got the Star card here. So this is really about you kind of pouring into, I'm seeing two sides of like the same coin here, but it's more represented in the two vials or like buckets of water, however you want to refer to it. And there's this two strands of the stars here. So I'm almost seeing this as like your physical manifestations and then your spiritual manifestations. So it seems as though you are equally trying to pour your energy into both the physical and the spiritual manifestations in order to develop and grasp your sense of healing. It's almost like searching for a sense of direction here because of this sense of injustice. It's like, well, which direction do I go? How do I progress forward? How do I move forward? Please show me. So what's happening in terms of your communication, it's almost like you're flitting between these two energies. So you've got the Five of Swords in the upright, and then you have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. It was, I believe. Yeah, it was in the reverse. So what's happening with your communication is that you're feeling betrayed here. You're really, really feeling betrayed. It's almost as if you didn't see that these other people had weapons, and as soon as you saw it, you went guns blazing, you went gung-ho. So this is that sense of injustice here coming up. It feels as though there's been something that almost took you by surprise, but your response was to retaliate. You were quick to fire. But what happened was it kind of, you maybe thought about the consequences of you responding in that way and thinking, is this going to impact on me financially? Is this going to impact on my sense of abundance if I respond in this way? It's that kind of battle between the physical and the spiritual. Like, if my physical responds in this way, is that going to upset my spiritual being? I'm getting the sense no, because it feels like you almost had to respond in that way. You had to be on the defense in order to protect, it feels like. So in terms of your environment or your social surroundings, you've got the Chariot in the reverse. So there's a sense of things have paused for you. You needed to have that pause in order for things to gather back again. I'm also hearing recuperate, so there might have been an impact on your health or the health of your finances, the health of those around you. Sagittarius, it feels like you needed to have that pause because things can very quickly turn back upright and then you're off again. So in terms of what motivates you or the values or the interests, you've got the Devil card, which shows up in the upright. It feels very past life. So in terms of what motivates you, I don't think that you are necessarily aware of what the specifics are, but you've just got this internal fire, this internal drive here to keep going forward. It feels as though your soul is the one that's leading you forward and that's driving you. Your soul is what is motivating you to seek the healing, seek the justice, and the righteous path, or what you feel is righteous and what is truly meant to be yours. So let's look at some advice for Sagittarius, please. Beautiful 2 cards straight on the go. Oh, I love this for you, Sag. So first of all, you have skunk spirit, know your worth. So know your worth, trust your worth. And again, this justice in the reverse echoes that it's not coming from a place of ego. This is just about you reconnecting to what is yours and what's rightfully yours, and really going for that with good intention. I'm almost feeling with this skunk spirit, I'm seeing it burrowing, burrowing through, you know, like making little holes and burrowing in the grass, burrowing through someone's garden. So it's like making your path, creating your avenue, your tunnel, in order for you to get that justice of what you deserve. So I'm hearing perseverance with that. And with that, you start to spin your web of that manifestation. You start to spin your web and create your own sphere of healing. You've got the spider spirit, which says make your dreams real. And I think for you, a part of that reality is healing something from that past life, and that's what's motivating you. This web feels like a web of containment, a web of safety.